Hey there, it's David H. Lawrence, the 17th. I got an email from a Monique Phillips. It got hidden somehow by Gmail for about a month, so I'm sorry I'm late on this. But she said, could you do a video on voice care? How to protect your voice, if you have to scream, how to avoid phlegm, the need to clear your throat, what to eat, what not to eat, also what are the drinks or secrets that VO actors use. Is there a special tea that everyone uses or anything like that? Thanks so much. I am enjoying your videos. Well, I've learned that there is one thing to know about vocal care and keeping yourself in good shape, and that is it's different for everyone. There is one universal, and that is it is much better to be hydrated than not hydrated. And what you should remember is that hydration begins hours before you need it. So sip water ahead of time, not like right then, so that your stomach is gurgling and you're sloshing around. So hydration, really important. Beyond that, the problem is that there are hundreds of things that I've heard of people using. Green apples and honey and tea, and I drink cinnamon coffee because it works for me on a regular basis. When I have a cold, I basically blow my nose a lot and cough a lot and get a lot of trying to get the mucus out of my throat. And I'm sorry if you're in the middle of lunch or something and you're watching this, but that's what works for me. I mean, I've joked a lot over the years about the fact that people go, "What's your secret for warming up? And what do you do for exercises for warming up?" And I have to be honest and say I sit down and I do this, and I go. I don't have any elaborate warm up. And there are vocal coaches who will lead you through, 20, 30 minutes of warm ups, 5, 10 minutes, who knows, whatever their beliefs are. But I think really what it takes is experimentation. What works for you? There is one thing that works for me, but I'm not sure if it's actually the beneficial value of the product itself or just the fact that I think it's really good. But I use something called Lohan Quo. And Lohan Quo is a Chinese fruit that's usually in a big, let me just open this package up here. It's usually in a big fruit that's hard, and they grind it. And this is what's inside the box. It's just a whole bunch of little packets. And these packets, inside these, are little squares that remind me of those soup bouillon cubes that you used to have when you were a kid that had chicken bouillon and stuff like that. See, they're in little, let me get this out here. They're in little waxed paper things, and you open up, and there's 2 of them in here, and you drop one into a cup of boiling water. And it's sweet, slightly sweet. It's very soothing. But I don't know that drinking anything is going to keep you either good or not so good. There's kind of the universal stay away from dairy, but I do dairy all the time, and it doesn't do. In fact, when my throat is raw, I'd rather go get some ice cream than avoid dairy altogether. If for some reason I've been shouting, doing voice work for, say, animation or video games or something stressful to my voice, I always ask for breaks. No producer worth his or her salt is ever going to prevent you from taking breaks. But the thing is, anything that anybody recommends to you may or may not work for you. That's the point I want to get across. I have a client who searched for months for something that would keep her from getting mouth clicks and getting dry mouth. And it turned out it wasn't green apples. Green apples made her salivate even more and then dried her out. There were all these things. She finally found something that worked. There are clients that I have that swear by Entertainer's Secret and Throat Coat and other, preparations that you can buy that are supposed to be good for your throat. I tend to gargle, with like scope to get rid of what I feel is like an oncoming, problem in terms of like an infection or something like that. I tend to try to clean things out. But I don't usually do things. I can't stand Entertainer's Secret. The taste of it makes me want to gag. So, again, what works for you. And don't think that there is some universal secret that you can find that will work for you and everybody else in the world, because that's not the case. Other than staying hydrated, that's really, really important. If you're dried out, that will really, really destroy your voice. And, you know, the exercises that singers use are different from the exercises that voiceover people use. You know, for me, it's like I sit down and I do the work, but I'm not you and you're not me and we're not somebody else. So my advice to you is look around, ask a lot of people, try what they use, see if it works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, don't think they were lying. Don't think they were, you know, they were misinformed, because it works for them. It just doesn't work for you. So you got to find what works for you. That's really my best advice to you, Monique. I hope that helps. By the way, if you have suggestions, now's the time to start the dialogue below this video. Leave me a comment. What do you use? What kind of exercises do you use? What works for you? And know that you're going to be giving your opinion, and others may or may not be able to take advantage of that, but that's what we're all about here. That's what I'd like to do. Leave the comments, by the way, over at vo2gogo.com. You can leave them on YouTube if you want to, but it's kind of hard to maintain a conversation there. vo2gogo.com, the conversation is sane and moderated and polite. I love that. If you'd like to subscribe to my latest video, this channel that I have of all these videos, go ahead and click on my head there. If there's no head, find a subscribe button somewhere below the video. You want to see the latest edition, the latest episode, click on that frame and YouTube will play it for you. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.